Hey, welcome into Inside Toppers Baseball. I'm Cody Shook alongside Coach Burkle, and we're here today to talk about upcoming games and practices and how we just now got on the field and we're starting to play already. So,
I was actually surprised we got on the field yesterday. For the last day of February, to be on our field it's almost a miracle, really. Obviously, we took BP in the outfield. We'll hit backwards from center field in, but there's a chance today, being March 1st, that we might get on that field today.
yeah, and it kind of got boring being inside the gym, so it is nice to be out there. And can you just talk about upcoming games as we're preparing for Ohio Valley this Friday?
Well, we're scheduled to have developmental games on Thursday, but I think we're going to move those to Saturday with Washington and Jefferson. But Friday, Ohio Valley coming here. We're going to play them in Washington at the Wild Things. So we know the field conditions will be fine. It's probably going to be cold, probably in the 30s. So we're used to it. We're a northern team that plays outside, obviously. It's not that big a deal. But Ohio Valley is that team. They finished second, I believe, in their division last year in their conference. The team that we always struggle with. They now have a new coach in Chad Porter, who was there before, came back. They've got a young coach, Ryan Lewicki from Wesleyan, local kid. So the energy's there, the baseball's there. Now it's time to see if we can actually play with them, because they're pretty good.
All right, now can you talk about the developmental games and the program itself, what that means to move forward?
The developmental program is this year starting to pay off. It's that system where we can get guys at bats that aren't going to get that many on the varsity level, so we can get them at bats. Guys that we need to get rid of some nerves, some butterflies, we can throw them in a developmental game. Parker Dyson's going to get his first college start in a developmental game, so that when he does start working his way up to a weekend guy or a midweek guy for us on the mound, hopefully now we got rid of the nerves. Ben Taylor, same way. He's going to get his first college start in a developmental game. And the other thing that we do with that is a guy like Riley Aulick this week, who's in a walking boot, his next college appearance is going to be in a developmental game.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make sure that he's healthy in that game before we test it out in a varsity game. So that side of things for us, I struggle when people call it JV, because for us it's more of a developmental thing. We've gotten to the point where if you crack our lineup as a freshman, you're really good. So to keep freshmen happy and fresh, that's what those developmental games are for.
Alrighty, now can you just talk about our spring break trip? Not a trip, but we have three series back to back against Glenville, Charleston, and Concord. So that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 games each day.
Our spring break trip to West Virginia? Yes, yeah. But it just worked out that way with budget reasons, for budget reasons, and the fact that it's still a little bit warmer in Charleston, Glenville, Concord than it is here that first week of March. So we go to Glenville on Friday, much improved. Again, the 3 schools that we're going to all have coaching changes within the last year and a half. Coach Mullins at Glenville, this will be his 2nd year. I mean, the kids turned it around. I mean, there's no doubt. We split with them last year. So that's a program that is no longer up and coming. They're there. I think they were picked to be in a playoff spot in the South. So they're ready to go. Concord or Charleston on Saturday, new coach, even though he's a veteran coach, Andrew Wright. Again, they're going to be better just because of the coaching. And the same thing in Concord. And I'm not sure what Concord lost in graduation, but the fact that they're bringing back a very veteran, skilled coach in Kevin Garrett, who's been there before, won there before. All 3 of these teams are well coached. So we're going to go down south, play 6 games, 3 days, and we're going to have our hands full.
Now, do you think that will be any impact on the hitters or pitchers, 6 games in 3 days?
The pitching staff, it shouldn't be. With 24 pitchers on a pitching staff, non-conference weekend, there's going to be some guys that may not be expected to get innings that probably are. But 24 pitchers, it shouldn't take a toll on our pitching staff at all. Now, some position players, there's a chance that at the end of the weekend there's going to be some tired legs. But we're pretty deep in all those positions too. As far down through our freshmen. We've got a backup at every position. We can split time. It's just a matter of what do they want to give us in 6 games? How far do they want to take this season? even though they're non-conference games. Do they want to, leave the weekend with a winning record, or do they want to lay down?
All right, now why are these games non-conference games? I don't understand that.
The NBC has gone to a 32 conference game schedule. So we play every team in the conference either 2 times or 4 times for our 32 conference games. Now we have to fill a 50-game schedule. So for me personally, making the schedule, we call teams like Glenville, Concord, Charleston that are better in our conference, and we play those as regional games. So actually they're important. They're still, we get regional points. If Concord finishes over 500, it helps us. If Charleston finishes over 500, it helps us. So anytime one of those teams gets ranked in a region or in a national poll, it helps us. So by playing these guys non-conference, it's still a big help to West Liberty baseball.
Alrighty, well, that'll do it for another episode of Inside Toppers Baseball. Be sure to follow us on Twitter @Toppers Baseball for live updates on games and when we'll be posting new YouTube videos.